Hey everyone, Beckie Belote here. I am a creative memories advisor from Newport News, Virginia, and I love sharing tips. And so today I'm going to share a tip. Can't wait. This is a really cool one. And before I do, just a reminder: it is 11 a.m. here in on the East Coast. And we have until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Today is Tuesday, the 25th, to take part in that promotion thing. In other words, you spend 135 and you get a free bundle. And I think that's a pretty big deal, especially if you need some stuff. So I know people procrastinate. This is your last time to take advantage of this. So, just a little reminder, depending on when you're watching this video, you could still be able to take advantage of it. If you're doing it on your phone, remember that they're only going to show you one bundle, but there are two options at this point. I'm not saying they won't sell out, but right now they are both available, but only one will show up and you have to swipe to see the other option. So if you spend 270, you can get both. So I just want to make sure they're, they're both there. Okay. Sound good? So wanted to tell you that. Another thing, we are expecting those secret boxes to come soon. I suspect maybe sometime at the beginning of April or mid-April. And when I say secret boxes, this is the first time they are going to have two available. The one from first quarter and the one for second quarter. All right. And they're doing that because they have this little thing that they're doing this year that if you buy all four of the secret boxes, if you're a secret box lover, they come out quarterly. It's four in a year. Well, they're telling us they're going to have a fifth one in December this year that you can buy if you've gotten the other four. So, for those of you that were afraid to invest in the first one, it is out there. You can see what was in it. I don't have one left. I hate it that I always sell all my stuff before you get to see them, but they're gone, and so I can't show you. But I will say it was very well received. In fact, at this point, I don't have one person that was totally disappointed with it. Most people were overjoyed with it. So that's a really good thing. And so anyways, really pleased about that. And you can get one of those and then you can go ahead and get the second one. We just ask that whoever you bought the first one from, you buy the second one from, because that's how home office is tracking who has bought all four. Okay, so if you buy it from home office yourself, if you go direct to a website and hopefully you're buying from an advisor, you're doing that on the website, continue doing it on the website so that you can buy that fifth one in December. What I love about that is it's secret. It's a secret box. You don't know what's in it. So when you order that December one, you can wrap it and put it under the tree for you, and it will be a true surprise. And we like creative memories gifts. So I think that you'll like that. So, anyways, I think it's a fun thing they're doing. I hope that you're in the spirit. So I wanted to tell you that, just give you a heads up about that. And we're gonna go ahead and move into this Tip Tuesday. So what I'm gonna do today, I was we as advisors also meet, like, if you're ever intimidated about starting a business with Creative Memories because you don't think you have the creativity, please don't worry about that because we help each other. It's if you like Creative Memories products, and if you like scrapbooking, it's kind of a no-brainer. Even if you have just a couple of friends that you think will support you, because we don't have any minimum. So you could start now just for fun, as just doing this for fun. Maybe Sure. Excuse me, to support your hobby, but that can change at any time because we have no requirements of how much we have to sell. So you can be laid back with it and fun, or you can make a business of it and make money. Got a tickle today. Sorry. All right. So we are going to do an idea that was inspired on a group that I do. I work with some of my teammates, and we share ideas. And one of my teammates shared an idea. Um, It was basically Alice Funk. So, hi, Alice Funk in New Jersey. And I kind of took it and manipulated it to be a double page spread. So, I hope you like this concept. I am going to be using the Border Maker system. And I wanted to give a shout out in case you're trying to hit that 135. If you don't have this border maker organizer that holds all of your pieces to your border maker, even if you're just starting with the border maker, you're probably going to want this because they come out with these cartridges every month. And you're going to want a place to put them. And this is a very durable double decker way to hold your border maker cartridges. So I wanted to make sure you knew about that. But I am going to need these things, so I'm going to pull them out. To do this technique, you are going to want to use only your border maker cartridges. Let me change the screen. You're only going to want your border maker cartridges that are closed in. In other words, they have a nice solid silver box. I'm going to show you a couple others. I did one with this. Nice solid box. Ancient Key is a good one. Nice solid silver box all the way around. You're going to see one that I made with this one, the linear plaid. This one's not available, but a lot of you got it and it's coming back in May. So you're going to want to try this one with it when that comes back out. But what's cool about this technique that I'm showing is you can use it over and over. And when you change the border maker cartridge, you're going to get a different look. Now, we talked about on our call, this would be a good option, the bats and stars. Keep in mind, if you use this one, at some point, your bats are going to be sideways. So if you don't think you'll like sideways bats, I would not use that one. The rest of these are very versatile. This one is the mittens one. And I happen to believe that mittens can go horizontal or vertical. So I think this is a really good option as well. In fact, I think I'm going to try this one today. All right. All right. So and just to show you the difference, you see how this one is not straight edges. All right. It's got silver all the way around, but it's not straight edges. It's not going to work. Some of them don't have any edges at all, like this heart one. Clearly, this is not going to work. All right, so, and there's probably more than will work. I don't typically keep old border maker cartridges. So I'm sure you have older ones that will work. I know the Curious Crab, we talked about that one working. That would be a good one. But see, this one is not flat all the way around. Okay, so I hope you know the difference. It will absolutely not work with anything but something similar to this. So I'm going to try this one. Um, there is a little bit of strategy with what I'm showing you as far as how your paper will lay. So on purpose today to demo this, and for maybe when you're trying it at home for your first time, pick a piece of paper where it doesn't matter how that piece of paper lies. There's no pattern that makes it have to go a certain direction, okay? And then after you've done your first one, think it through before you start trying this to make sure you're cutting where you want to cut to get the look you want to look you want to get. All right, so we're also going to need for this our trimmer with our scoring and straight blade. So I'm going to pull my scoring blade out. If you don't have all of our blades and you're trying to hit that 135 mark, that's a good thing to have. I love to have options with so many blades. All right, makes this trimmer just even more valuable, doesn't it? I think there's even a blade package where if you only have the straight blade, you can buy the set blade, which is cool. All right. So we're gonna score three of the sides. All right. I'm gonna choose opposite sides to do 2-inch scores. All right, opposite sides. And in this case, paper doesn't matter. If this was a paper where it had a print on it that did matter, I would make sure it looked right to me before I started. All right. In other words, it's the way I would want to put it down on the page. And I am going to start by doing a 2-inch score here on the left. And then I'm going to do a 2-inch score over here on the opposite side. All right, and we're all just practicing this time. I hope that you're practicing with a piece of paper that doesn't matter. And that way, if it doesn't look the way you want at the end, you'll know how to adjust it for the real one that you're going to do. It's not a hard skill. You're going to do a good job. It's just a matter of how you want the paper to lay. And now this next one, I'm going to do a 3-inch score, either so that it crosses my two scores. All right, so I'm going to do a 3-inch score either at the top or the bottom, and that's totally up to you. You're going to get a different look depending on where you put it. All right, so I'm going to go this way and do a 3-inch score. All right, so opposite sides, 2-inch score, and then at the top or the bottom, a 3-inch score. If you are scoring and the score cuts into your paper. Do y'all know what that means? Do you? Do you? Because your score should not be cutting into your paper. It should simply be a score so that when we bend our paper, it will fold into that line nicely. All right. If it is cutting into your paper, what that means is probably not that you're putting too much pressure, but that your mat strip is in need to be changed. Your mat strip is not designed to cut all the way through. And what happens is sometimes we cut on it and cut on it and cut on it, and it's time to be changed. And the dead giveaway about that is when you score a piece of paper and it cuts through. That's a dead giveaway. But another way to tell is when you run your finger across, it should not feel like we're having a volcano eruption. Plastic should not be coming up so that it's rough on your finger. Plastic should be going down. When it starts coming up, it's telling you it's time to change. Your mat strip has 4 different grooves, and so you can change them. They have two different grooves on the front that you can go like this to change your groove, and then we have 2 on the back as well. All right. The fact that I am on a very worn one tells me that this is probably ready to be changed, but it did not cut into my piece of paper, so that's good. All right, so just wanted to give you a little lesson about that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our border maker, and I'm going to do my short size first. All right, so these were the 2-inch scores. And we're going to put it in like this. And when you do that, because this is only a 2-inch score, your paper's going to flap up like that. So don't think you've done something wrong. It's just because we don't have the paper's not scored far enough in to hold it in, and it's not going to measure. It's just junk. Just know that it's like that, and don't worry. Let's try, which one did I say I was going to try? I was going to try the mittens. By the way, I think it's still available, but if it is still available, it's on last chance, as is the entire line of Flurry and Fun. Okay. Flurry of Fun. It's beautiful. So I know a lot of us had snow this year that we don't typically have. If you have not done your snow pictures and you were waiting to buy Flurry of Fun until you do them, you may want to go ahead and invest in that collection now because it is going to sell out, right? So I am going, all right, so what I want you to pay attention about here is your score line for, let's see, where is my score line? Yeah, there it is. All right, so I'm going to bend it a little bit so that you all can see better. Okay, so there it is. What I want you to do when we do these sides is I don't want to use my border maker cartridge on this line. All right, so when I get there, we're going to skip it. All right, so I'm going to go back in. You can see the little bend there. I'm going to pay attention because you know how I do. Pay attention. We're going to go down. And if I were to go one more time, I would be on that crease. I am skipping that one and I'm going to the last. All right. Feel good about that? We're going to do the same thing to the other side now. I'm going to go ahead and bend this so that you can see where that score line is maybe a little bit better. So we're now going to go to the other side, scored nicely, nice and straight. Throw that in. We're going to do the same thing, but this time keep in mind my score line is here. If in doubt, look at your other side. All right, so we didn't do this one on the other side. We're not going to do that one. We're going to do the rest. So the first notch, skip that one. We're going to go to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to fold it now this way. Now there are no rules. We do have a lot of really cool things out of this one. Look at the discharge from this one. We've got mittens, we have snowflakes, we have little curly cues, we've got little dots that look like snowballs. This is a great border maker cartridge. This is one that you were going to want to have. So if you have been putting off getting that one, either you're too late or you should reach out to your advisor right away, because sometimes, even though the company has sold out, your advisor has not. All right, so kind of keep that in mind. Please don't pay more for our tools. You can find our tools for really high prices because they become collector's items, and there's no reason for you to do that. Just reach out to your advisor on something that you're really desperate for, and she will find it for you at the regular cost. And another thing to keep in mind is ask yourself when something sells out, rather than to pay a lot, do you really, really need it? We're going to come out. Creative Memories is so good. I love this company. They keep my income very balanced because if they sell out of something, it doesn't matter. 1 week later, there's going to always be something new. All right. So we always have really cool new stuff for you all to shop from. So no need to be freaked out. All right, so now what we're gonna do, and now I'm on the third one. This time there are no rules. You're just gonna go straight down. You're not skipping anything. The skips allowed me to come in and do this. All right. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so we've got this little pattern here. All right, so now what I want to do, I'm going to get these scraps. This has a lot of scraps, right? All right. So now what I want to do, I want to do a couple of things. I think the first thing I'm going to do is that pattern is distracting me from even, I feel like it's hard for me to show you what I'm going to do. So what I now want to do is I want to trim off some of this. So I'm going to grab my straight trimmer again. I'm going to make sure my actual cutting blade is in instead of my scoring blade. I'm going to make sure I put my scoring blade back, because it's when I don't put it back that I tend to lose things. All right. The reason why I want to fold it a little bit, in fact, I'm just going to fold it. I'm not even going to, I mean, you could score it at 6. That would be smart too. All right. The reason why I want to fold it is I don't want you to get all bent out of shape about where the measurements go. And if you do it at the same time, both sides are going to be the same. All right. And then you don't have to worry, remember any kind of measurements. So I'm just going to make sure that the paper looks great. In other words, can we put it on a line? See if you can put it on a line. All right. And then I'm going to cut a little bit up here. I'm going to stop and be very careful. I don't want to cut through those beautiful mittens that I allowed that spacing for, so I can see where it's cutting. All right. And then what I want to do is shoot, you might even quicker and easier with such a small little cut. I could rotate it and cut it with this trimmer, but I'm not that crazy that I care. I'm just gonna make sure it's lined up, and I'm gonna do a little snip snip there, and I'm gonna do a little snip snip here. And then I can control also how much is there. So I did that. Another thing I want to do, I want to cut out this too. All right, I want to cut out all that. So we're gonna go again, and we're gonna just put it in here. Make sure you're folded, folded good. Probably should score it. I'm gonna go ahead and so it's nice and straight. I have a score here. Why am I being lazy? Becky, why are you being lazy? What's wrong with you? So we're gonna throw that in there. Just me. I like to cut corners. Instead of using my corner rounder, I get lazy. All right, so we're gonna just do a nice score now. That way it just folds nicer and it's more accurate. All right, and now I'm gonna trim away some of this stuff. I want to go here, I want to trim this way, and I want to trim this away. So that's what I'm doing, in case you're wondering. I'm getting rid of it. And I'm doing it at the same time, and it's to avoid having to care about my measurements. All right, so I don't want to cut into the decorative part. I'm going to get close, but not there. And then I'm going to go down here. I'm going to do this one too. And we're not worrying too much about our measure. So that takes time and it's not all that important. All right, because I just did that one, I'm going to go ahead and stay with the same measuring on this one. Notice I'm just skipping all these cut parts. I'm just on purpose not trying to cut there. And then we're going to go and do this one too. And look to see where you ended up. All right. All right, and last but not least, I'm actually going to cut through this right here. Actually, again, very distracting to me to see all that pattern. So I'm going to turn it upside down so that I can see what I'm doing and so that you can see what I'm doing. All right. So let me show you what we can do with this. Because I picked a print that didn't matter the way that it would lay, this gives me a lot of versatility with how I lay it. All right. So I went ahead and grabbed some paper that this is going to look good on, and I'm going to show you some options. All right. So I can do this. What do you think about that? Is that pretty? I can do this. This kind of has an Easter feel, doesn't it? We could put it down here, here. So you have all kinds of different looks. All right. So that's what you can do if the piece of paper that you are using, and I am using a designer print, guys, when you're folding cardstock, it's going to be really thick and it's going to be really hard to work with, and you're asking for a jam. So make sure you're using a thinner designer print, not a cardstock, unless the cardstock is a real thin cardstock. Okay. So just wanted to remind you about that. All right. So let me show you the ones that I've finished. And thank you for the inspiration on this, Alice. And Bev is the one that told me that you did it. So if you're thinking, I didn't tell you that, you're right. Your upline did. We really work together well. By the way, if you are considering becoming an advisor, I am looking for advisors all over the place. However, I had a goal this year of getting an advisor in every state in the United States. And these little empty places without puzzle pieces are truly the places I have nobody. So if you're in those states and maybe you're an advisor, but you don't have an upline, or maybe you've just been buying direct from home office and you aren't affiliated with anybody, or maybe you just watch my videos, and again, you're not affiliated with anybody. I'm not trying to get you to move to me. I would love to have you if you're one of these states or any of these states, quite frankly. In fact, I want to give a shout out. I have somebody joining in a couple of days, Kate McKay, that I just am so excited about. She lives in Winchester, Virginia, my very own state. So plenty of room for growth all over the United States. This is just kind of one of those little goals of mine. I like to put puzzles together. So I thought this was kind of a fun idea to see where we had people on our team. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Kate. Hope she's watching today, and also to let you know that I would love to be your mentor in creative memories if you'd like to get started. So the first one I did with a collection called Happy Together. This is a really small collection. It's a lovey collection, springy collection. And it's very small though. It only had paper and stickers and embellishments. I think it just had those three things. But super pretty and makes a really quick and easy, beautiful page. So the first one I did, I used that line, and so you're going to be able to see how pretty this came out. So what I love about that, I love the busy prints, but I like to minimize them so that they don't overpower the page. So I think what this did is it allowed me to use some of that busy print. You can see the busy print, but yet it wasn't overpowering. I can put all my solids here and get the feel that I want. So this is using some of the embellishments from that collection and the same technique I just taught with a border maker cartridge called Linear Plaid. Check and see if you have that one. All right. All right, then I tried it one more time. This was my practice round. So practice round wasn't a disaster like it sometimes is. My next one that I did, I used with the school days collection. And both of these piece of papers had a direction that they should have gone in. All right, so both of these are looking the exact same way. So that's why when I demoed that third one, I wanted to show you how you could get different looks if you chose a piece of paper where the orientation of that paper did not matter. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind before you start cutting. The school days line, it's got days, DAYZ, very robust line with all kinds of things. It's got paper. It's got two packs of paper, in fact. It's got mats. It's got some embellishments. It's got stickers. It's got even the big laser mats where you can just put a photo in the mat and it's outlined with all this layering. Super crazy pretty if you haven't seen those. So, anyways, check out the school days line. I know the school year is almost over, but if you're anything like me, when my kids were in grammar school, it wasn't until the end of the year that I had time to work on their school book. So this is a great time to look at it if you haven't started working. It makes school days books really easy to do. So, anyways, I wanted to show you that too. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you like the idea. Um, I I'm a stickler for making things two-page spreads um, because we only have one title page and one end page, but we have a lot of stuff in between. So I like to kind of manipulate things and see what it can be done in different ways. So I hope you like this, and I hope you'll try it. I hope you're already trying it because this one is an easy one, and I didn't even mess up today, not once. So, anyways, thank you for watching me, and you all have an amazing week. Bye. Oh, website www.creativememories.com/user/ and then my name, BECKIE BELOTE. And you can shop there. You can take advantage of that 135 promo until 1 today, or you can join my team there. Make my day. Thanks so much.